Hari Om dear students, welcome to our online session. In today's session, we are going to discuss about the fourth lesson, an Indian American woman in space, Kalpana Chawla. This lesson I have divided into two parts, and now we are going to deal with the first part. Okay children? Yeah. As I tell you very regularly that before continuing this video, do read the lesson twice and then start seeing this video. Okay children? Yeah. And in this lesson, we are going to discuss about the life journey of Kalpana Chawla from her childhood. How she had grown to an astronaut. Okay. Shall we start? Yeah, let us start. Let us start the lesson with the news report, children. This news report was published in the year of 2003 and it is about the tragedy in space. So what is the tragedy in this space and who are there in the space shuttle which was just from Columbia? All these things we are going to discuss in this news report. So you can see in the picture here, Kalpana Chawla, she was in space shuttle. So now we are going to discuss about the tragedy in space in US space shuttle Columbia which broke into flames. Okay children, hope you have understood what we are going to discuss about. So we are going to discuss about a tragedy which had happened in space. What do you mean by space? Is it a street next to you? No. Space in the sense the empty area above the sky, isn't it? So something which had happened in the space, some tragedy happened in the space, that we are going to discuss in this news article. And what was the tragedy, you know children? It was just nothing but US space shuttle from Columbia broke into flames. One space shuttle, it broke into flames, it seems. So let us see how it had happened. So in an unprecedented space tragedy, that means which was unexpected space tragedy, US space shuttle Columbia carrying Indian born American astronaut Kalpana Chawla and 6 others broke apart in flames as it streaked over Texas towards its landing strip on Saturday. So, a space shuttle which was from Columbia, suddenly it broke into flames when it was just above the Texas. It was about to streak over Texas, and it happened on Saturday, 1st February 2003. And who are there in the space shuttle, children, here? Are Kalpana Chawla. Kalpana Chawla was an Indian born American astronaut. So I'll tell you in the lesson what is this Indian born, again American astronaut. How is she be called as an Indian born and American astronaut? We will discuss further in the lesson. So she was there in that space shuttle along with 6 other people, and it just broke into flames on Saturday, 1st February of 2003, and it killed all the 7 people in the space shuttle. Okay, and the shuttle lost contact with NASA at about 9 a.m. as it came in for landing. So on that day, February 1st, Saturday morning till 9 o'clock, this space shuttle was in contact with NASA. Okay, but after that suddenly they have lost contact with a space shuttle. It was flying at an altitude of over 2 lakh feet and traveling at over 20,000 kilometers per hour when ground control lost contact with the shuttle. So when this NASA lost contact with this space shuttle, actually they were about 2 lakh feet above, and they were traveling 20,000 kilometers per hour. So at this point of height and at this point of speed, what was the point of height when they have lost the contact? 2 lakh feet. And what was the speed at that time? 20,000 kilometers per hour. So at this point of height, they have lost, this space shuttle have lost contact with the NASA. And finally, Columbia had lifted off on 16 January. Actually, this space shuttle, when it had started, that now we are going to discuss about. So this had lifted off, this space shuttle had started on January 16, 2003 from the Kennedy Space Center, Florida. So from Florida, this Columbia Space Shuttle started on January 16, 2003. Okay, from where? From Kennedy Space Center of Florida. Okay, and it stayed in orbit for 16 days, and 7-member crew conducted 80 experiments before it began its downward journey. So they have this space shuttle of Columbia. This has stayed in the space for almost 16 days, and they have conducted almost more than 80 experiments. Look at the 7-member crew in the sense group of people. So these 7 members, the 7 people who are there in the space, the space shuttle, they have conducted 80 experiments before they started their downward journey, that means return journey, which ended in tragedy. Why it was ended in tragedy? Why are they saying that it is ended in tragedy, children? Because the space shuttle broke into flames, isn't it? And this was Columbia's 28th space flight, and the shuttle was said to be good for 100th flight. So this was the 20th space flight from Columbia, and they're saying that it is very good, more than the 100 flights. So this is about the news report which we are going to start with. Okay, so in this news report we have discussed about a tragedy of a space shuttle Columbia in space, which was started on January 16th in 2003, and they have stayed in the space for 16 days, and 7 people have gone in that space shuttle, among which even Kalpana Chawla, who is an Indian born American astronaut, was also there. So they have conducted 80 experiments there, and while returning at certain point of height, nearly of a 2 lakh feet height, when they were traveling 20 kilometers per hour speed, suddenly they have lost contact with NASA, and this space shuttle broke into flames, which led to the death of all the 7 people in the space shuttle. So this was the tragedy which had happened in the year of 2003 on February 1st. Okay, children. So now we are going to discuss about this Kalpana Chawla, okay, whom we have called as India-born American astronaut. Okay, children. Hope you have understood it. Yeah. Yes, children. So, as you have seen the newspaper report of the space tragedy which had happened, so now we are going to discuss about that Indian American astronaut Kalpana Chawla. So Kalpana Chawla, she was born on 1962 and she was died in 2003 very unexpectedly, and she was an astronaut and as well as engineer. So she was the first woman from India in space, and she was a mission specialist on Space Shuttle Columbia in 1997. Chawla was a certified flight instructor, an aerospace engineer, and she became a naturalized United States citizen in 1991. She was killed in 2003 when a technical failure caused the Columbia Space Shuttle to crashed during re-entry. So this is about Kalpana Chawla. So in this lesson we are going to discuss in detail about Kalpana Chawla, who was a certified flight instructor, an aerospace engineer, and also an astronaut. And she started in the mission in the space shuttle mission of Columbia in the year of 1997, and she became a naturalized US citizen. How she became a natural US citizen, I will tell you further in the lesson. And unexpectedly she was killed in the year of 2003 when, as I told you previously in the report, when this space shuttle broke into fire due to some technical failures. Okay children, so hope you have understood now about whom we are going to discuss. We are going to discuss about Kalpana Chawla, who is she? Tell me. Yeah, she is an Indian American astronaut in space. Okay. Let us start discussing about Kalpana Chawla, children. You can see the beautiful photographs of Kalpana Chawla's childhood here. And Kalpana Chawla said that she never dreamed as a child in kernel that she would cross the frontiers of space. So as a child who was born in Karnal of Haryana, Karnal is a place in Haryana, children. So as she was from that place as a child, she never dreamed that she will be crossing the frontiers of space. Like no, she will be getting into the space or she will be becoming an astronaut. She never dreamed even to become an astronaut as a child from Karnal. And it was enough that her parents allowed her to attend engineering college after she graduated from Trago school. So after graduation, she felt very happy that her parents have sent her to attend engineering college. So that itself is a great thing for her, because Karnal is a small village in the part of Haryana, and as she belonged to there, she never dreamed to become an astronaut, and she felt that just studying engineering itself is a great thing for her. And moreover, as their parents have agreed and allowed her to attend engineering college after completing her graduation, she felt very happy, and that itself is a great thing to her. She thought in such a way. So Kalpana Chawla, she felt very happy when her parents allowed to attend engineering college itself, and she never dreamed of becoming an astronaut in her childhood. After a Bachelor of Science degree in Aeronautical Engineering, against great opposition from her father, she went for a master's degree to the United States of America. So as I told you children, as she was from a small town from Haryana, and she never dreamed of becoming an astronaut. Somehow her parents allowed her to do her engineering. That itself was a great task to her and great thing to her, and somehow she had completed Bachelor of Science of degree in Aeronautical Engineering, and now she wanted to do her master's degree in United States of America. But there was a great opposition from her father. That means her father didn't allow her to go to America for higher studies. Though there was a great opposition from her father, she somehow managed to go to United States of America, and she had done her master's degree in aeronautical engineering, and she later also earned PhD in aerospace engineering. So after attaining master's degree, she also had done PhD in aerospace engineering. And Kalpana Chawla was the first Indian American woman astronaut to blast off from the launch pad to Cape Canaveral, Florida, and participate in a successful mission in space. So, as per Total India, she was the first Indian American woman who was an astronaut who just went into a space, just blast off from the launch pad at Cape Canaveral, Florida. So from Florida, from Cape Canaveral, she was the first one to get into space, and her family from India cheered along with the staff at Kennedy Space Center as they watched the Columbia liftoff. So when this space shuttle Columbia, when it was just lifting off, like when it was getting into the space, along with the staff at Kennedy, her family members also started cheering from India. That means all of them started encouraging her when this space shuttle of Columbia was getting into space from Florida. Okay, children. Yeah, now let us discuss about Kalpana Chawla's life, children. Kalpana Chawla was born in Karnal, Haryana, but was a naturalized US citizen, married to a flight instructor, Jean Perry Harrison. So, as I told you that I will definitely explain why she was called as an Indian American astronaut. Here is the point. Kalpana Chawla, she was born in Karnal, Haryana. It's a part of India, so she is called as an Indian. We all know it. Haryana is one of the states of India, and when she was born there, she is called as Indian, and she was also called as a naturalized US citizen because she got married to a flight instructor, John Perry Harrison, who was an American. You can see the picture of a Kalpana Chawla and as well as her husband, John Perry Harrison. He is an American. As she got married to an American, she became a naturalized US citizen. And besides being an astronaut, she was licensed to fly single and multi-engine land airplanes, single-engine seaplanes, and gliders. So she was not only an astronaut, children, she was also licensed, like no pilot, licensed to fly single and multi-engine land airplanes, in the sense she was also a pilot who could fly single and multi-engine land aeroplanes, just like these aeroplanes which we regularly see, and also single engine seaplanes and gliders. So in this way she could fly all these planes and as well as gliders. She was also a certified flight instructor. That means she used to instruct the pilots and train the people. So in that way she was a certified flight instructor. After qualifying as a pilot, Kalpana began to consider another challenge, applying to NASA Space Shuttle program. So she became first an astronaut. After that she became a pilot, and then she became a flight instructor. But still her zeal was not satisfied, and still she started going for another challenge in the life, that is for applying to a NASA Space Shuttle program. And she was first hired as a research scientist at NASA. So first she was appointed as a research scientist in NASA, and in the year of 1994 she was selected by NASA for training as an astronaut. First, when she went to NASA, she was appointed as a research scientist, and later after that in the year of 1994 she was appointed as a training astronaut. Okay, NASA for training as an astronaut. That means she started taking as an astronaut training. Okay, first we take training, then only we do our task, isn't it? So she started taking training from NASA as an astronaut. Okay, children? Yeah. When asked what it was like being a woman in her field, she replied, I really never ever thought while pursuing my studies or doing anything else that I was a woman or a person from a small city or a different country. So, whenever after becoming an astronaut, whenever people ask her, like, no, what it was like being a woman, like most probably man will be there in that field, isn't it? So, as a woman, how do you feel? When she was asked this question, she used to reply that she never ever thought, that means she in her life, she never thought that she was a woman while pursuing her studies, pursuing in the sense while she was continuing her studies or doing anything, like no, when she is in Bachelor of Science of Aeronautical Engineering, or when she is doing master's degree or a PhD, or when she is getting training as a pilot or an instructor or becoming an astronaut. During all her life journey from student to an astronaut, she never thought that she was a woman or a person from a small city or from different country. As now she is in America, she never thought that I am a woman or I am from a small city or from some other country. She never thought in that way, and she never discriminated herself. And I pretty much had my dreams like anyone else, and I followed them. So, as all other people have dreams, I do have my dreams, and I simply follow my dreams like anybody else. How other people try to uh, make their dreams real. In the same way, I too have my own dreams and I have followed my dreams, she said. And people who were around me, fortunately, always encouraged me and said, if that's what you wanted to do, carry on. So the people around me, they never discouraged me and they always encouraged me. And if you wanted to that, if you wanted to do that, then carry on. So in this way, the people used to encourage me. So I never felt that I was a woman or I am from a small town or from a different country, because when I have my dreams like other people, I started making my dreams real. Okay, in this way she used to answer. So now children, in this part we have discussed about Kalpana Chawla, who was born in Karnal in Haryana and who never dreamed of becoming an astronaut as a child, but she has done her Bachelor of Science in Aeronautical Engineering with the help of with the support of their parents. But when she wanted to go to America for her master's degree, her parents, especially father, didn't agree. With a great opposition of her father, somehow she managed to go to America, where she has done her master's degree and also completed her PhD in aeronautical engineering. And then she became first a pilot, where she got a license of flying a single engine and multi-engine aeroplanes and seaplanes, and as well as gliders. And then she also she also became a licensed flight instructor. And then with that she was not at all satisfied, and then she had applied for NASA, where she was first appointed as a research scientist, and then she just got into the phase of an astronaut, where she took a training. And in meanwhile, she even got married to a flight instructor by name Jean Perry Harrison, who was an American, and he was also a flight instructor. And that's why, as she was born in India, she was called as an Indian. As she has got married to an American, she was called as a naturalized American citizen. So we have discussed all these things, children. In this part, you can see the different pictures of Kalpana Chawla here, the childhood pictures, and even this is at when she was a flight instructor, and this picture was before getting into the space shuttle of Columbia from Florida. So this is about the first part, and in the next part of the lesson we will see the further. I hope you have understood this part. If you have any doubts, try to contact us, children, so that we will clarify your doubts. Hari Om. Thank you.